Hi all. In today's session, we'll be focusing on creating and managing your field team's device user profiles. We'll specifically look at how to create them and then configure their setups to ensure that they are effective in their day-to-day activities and ultimately enabling them to best perform their jobs. So first point of call is to create your field team's profiles in the FigJam SFA system. Couple of ways we can do that is one through the interface itself, where you add a new device user. You can add them one by one. This is great on an ad hoc level. It is a bit cumbersome though if you have bulk importations or a big field team that you are looking to get through. So in that case, what we'd rather do is download our import template on our device user tab, which I've already done and pre-populated here with a few details of 3 user profiles. We use a code, and this is a unique identifier for every time the field teams do work. So by being a bit descriptive here on the code, I always use the initials of the user. So whenever I see the unique FigJam job IDs, I can tell who has uploaded the work. That's my preference. However, you may have your own coding conventions. Now, your IMEI numbers or Android ID numbers are what uniquely sets them up with their profile to your client platform in FigJam. And obviously a mobile number is great to have, and they're not going to be blocked, and we want them active as well. You can also use these templates to update or manage bulk profiles after you've created all of them. So very similar to how you can manage your products or customers, as we've shown in previous webinars, you can do the same through here. Now, when we deal with numbers, it's always good to set the number formatting over here. And what I like to do is when I do save my CSV, I save it in my location that I want, and I keep the CSV open. I don't close it before I import it back into the system. So all I do is I minimize it, come back to the web portal, and I add the users. I select my CSV and I'll open it from there. We then just let the system import and go through its processes, and it should give us a feedback alert on any successes or failures of the records that we're importing. So there we go, which is great. I'll just click outside of this light box and you can see my 3 new records have been set up. Now, this is the first element. We now need to make sure that we're assigning the right product categories and customers to them, as well as any other surveys or forms. So I'll first start with managing their products and their customers. And what I do is I'll select one of the reps and I'll click the edit pencil. And from here, what I can do is just make sure that they've got everything that they need over here and make any adjustments if need be. So in fact, let me rather take you to a clean one, like John Doe over here, that we need to set up. So in this case, let's say John Doe only looks after our coffee range, our beans, our biscuits, our grounds, and beverages. That means only those product portfolios will be shown on his user device. And let's say he's wholesale and key accounts. And so these are the customers that match those store categories. I can move all of those across too. Now, this window will also allow you to manage any custom form assignments over here, but I'll show you a secondary route that you can manage those assignments in a short while. Now, once you've double checked you've got everything over here, what you can then do is submit, and that will commit the changes that you have just put forward. Now, the beauty of managing their customers or their product assignments is you're optimizing the data that is put back onto the app when they first load it up from the Google Play Store. And obviously we want to streamline and optimize that so that they're not sifting through thousands of products or customer ranges. It's also a great way, particularly on your customers, to manage your territories or various segments of customers that reps may look after. Now that we've shown you how you can edit those assignments, let's look at how we can manage the assignments of surveys or other form data that they may need to do. And what's great about this is you might have different types of field reps looking after different facets of your field operations. For example, you might have supervisors who need to appraise the merchandisers, but you might have merchandisers who need to complete promotion reports. That's in a FMCG type of distribution business, but maybe in the agricultural business, you might have agronomists with one type of report and field inspectors with another type of report, all capturing different types of data. So you can be quite specific with who receives which forms to best go about their days. So how we can do that, as shown, you can do your custom forms through your device user pages, but you can also do it under your jobs tab in your sidebar. So if we take a look at our product surveys and we go to our manage section, over here I've got a promotion survey, and what we can do is if we edit this, we can set up which user profiles have access to this survey. So at the moment I've just got James North and FJ Trading Rep, but let's say Jane Jackson, Alex Bates and John Doe all need that survey on their profiles, and then we commit our changes. They will synchronize their app and receive it. Now, in a similar fashion, we can do the same on custom forms under the Manage tab. I've got a pending orders form and a supervisor appraisal form. So if we edit this one, at the moment we've just got James North, but let's say Alex Bates is also a supervisor and needs access to this form. We add Alex across and we commit our changes. Alex will synchronize his app and receive the new forms. So what's great about this is we're being very specific with the types of activities or surveys that your field teams can do. So when they do open up the app, they're not hit with a long list of all the different surveys that you may have, and they're juggling between that and potentially filling out the wrong forms. So that just helps streamline the whole process for them. Now, we've covered the real basics. If we really want to make them effective, there's a couple more things that the Salesforce automation system can do for you. The first is routes, and we have covered routes more comprehensively in its own webinar, so please feel free to go and watch that. But the beauty about routes is what you can do is you can set up various core cycles for reps. So in this case, I've set up for James North, and this is what James North has on his agenda for the upcoming weeks, and you can set this up for months at a time as well. Set various different types of recurrences, once-off events, and so forth. From the back office, you can do this by just adding this plus button here, and you can select which customer they need to go visit on that day, and you can manage any recurrences here. And then the Greens kiosk is added, and you would just save your changes. Alternatively, if you want to do some bulk uploads week on week, or if it's very scheduled 4-week cycle that recurs every week, what you can do is download the CSV and import this. I have covered this in a previous webinar, so please feel free to go look at the nitty-gritty of how you can manage that too. Furthermore, if you'd like to decentralize the management of your core cycles, your field teams can create their core cycles through the mobile app functionality. Overall, the back office users have the master controls and they can manage it accordingly from the back office. But what's great about that is now you can provide them with more responsibility to manage their own routes, and you take more of a supervisory role to just make sure that they're visiting the right people. And more so than that, this page does give you some element of insight as to what is their route adherence to their core cycle. So when calls turn red, it means a missed visit has been made by the rep. They haven't gone and seen that person or that customer. If it stays in green, it means that they did make their visit. And if it's a blue record, it means that they visited someone or a customer off their scheduled call cycle. And then from there, you can click on any of these records to then see what activities or tasks they did complete. Now, routes is one element of the advanced modules that can help make your team effective in the trade. The second, which is a recent release of FigJams, is what we call tasks. Now, tasks is effectively a task management system. It's really great for driving the right user activity or behavior in the trade, because ultimately, if your field teams are submitting the right activities and the right data, you have a better platform to analyze that data and make informed decisions from it. Furthermore, it creates a little more accountability on the reps. So we do have some visit management accountability measures such as the geofencing, enforced check-in and check-outs. However, task does take it a step further and applies to all other job types. So for example, if you created a new one, and let's call this task list, it's effectively a to-do list. Let's say modern trade tasks. And from here, what you do is you select the job type. First, let's say it requires a check-in, and then they need to possibly do an order, and we can give them an instruction, generate new sales orders, and then let's add another task, and we can say perform a stock survey, and let's add, maybe they need to do a promotion survey. So we would select our product survey and select the specific promotions, and then say capture any promos in the store. We can also add any custom forms and say, right, we want pending orders form complete if needed. There we go. Once we're happy with our task lists and activities, what we can then do is click the save button, just like that. I'll come back to the overall list over here, and you can see my modern trade tasks is there. It's turned off at the moment, and I need to finalize it. So what we do is we click finalize, and over here we assign it to the specific reps that we want. So let's say John, Jane, Alex, and James, and FJJ. Let's put all of them. Let's go B accounts, and let's say wholesalers. Our list of customers pops up. We move them across that these tasks apply to, and we submit. There we go. And then it'll just tell you if there's been any updates to any user profiles or anything. So this task management will act as a master overwrite on any formal product surveys or pricing surveys you may have, to ensure that whatever reps you put on the task also get those surveys. So I'll just say, okay, that's fine. And I'll come back to my main list, and we can see we now have the change function and it's turned on. So this is another great way of ensuring that your teams have higher accountability for the activities that they need. And from here, you can then get any alerts, or we can report back to you if any tasks have been missed or skipped. And if a task is cancelled or not done, your field teams have to provide a reason for why they couldn't do that. And the same applies for routes. So it really now helps tighten up your whole operation, enhancing your field service delivery, and ultimately allowing you to take a step forward in automating your sales force. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this useful. I look forward to any feedback and moving on to our next webinars with you. Thank you.